What if you knew exactly what to write in every social media post to guarantee it's going to bring you clients? And not only that, but also you could automate this entire process using AI in just a few minutes a day. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that and my 3-step process to build a custom AI content generator that helps you create high converting social media posts that's designed to attract your ideal audience. Whether you're a creator looking to monetize your expertise or a small business owner looking for lead generation, what I'm about to share with you today is not only going to save you thousands of dollars, but also give you back 10 plus hours each week to focus on something else. So we're going to cover 3 things in our agenda today. What are we building here specifically? Why does it matter? And then the demo process that's broken down step by step so you can also replicate it and build your own. So what are we building here? We're building a custom AI content generator for your social media posts. So it's going to be able to create high converting social media posts to help you drive real business outcome, mostly for lead generation and client acquisition. Why does this matter? Okay, as we all know, content drives most of the organic marketing, right? So if you have a viral content generation machine working for you 24/7, then you are going to probably grow your business very quickly. And what I've noticed is most small business owners or creators just don't have the time to create high converting content every single day. And most of them don't have the expertise or interest to do that. And many of them also prefer not to hire expensive agencies. We all know about agencies, right? If they're able to actually deliver real business outcome, then even if they're expensive, I think it's somewhat justified, but most agencies out there are just not able to actually get you real results. So the AI tool we're going to use today for the build is called Pixie. The reason I choose it, and this is not affiliated or anything, I try many different tools, and Pixie comes out to be the easiest one to use. It's not only very affordable, but it's actually truly no code. A lot of other platforms out there are now advertising that you can build AI automation workflows with no code or low code, but when you actually go in there to try it, it's not true, right? When it says low code, you actually have to code, and you have to code a lot. But Pixie is actually really easy. It's truly no code, and it's also very flexible. It integrates with a lot of different AI models like ChatGPT, Claude, so you have many different options. So we're going to use that today. Now, if you don't have one, you're going to have to create an account and sign in first. So once you log into Pixie, what you want to do here is click Create. And you can see that you have a couple of different options to choose from. I would actually stay away from automatic AI builder. And so the 2 main options you're going to choose from is either a form or chat. For this specific project we're creating, you can use either, but in order to be a little bit more flexible, so you can have a more iterative back and forth process to chat with the underlying AI model, I'm going to choose chat here. So then let's just first name our project, which is, let's say, a test demo to build a high converting content generator. All right, so before we dive into the specific process, 2 things. First is the prompt. The prompt here is for giving specific instructions on what to write and how to write and what's your preferred style, all of that. And the second one here is what you need to focus on preparing right now, which is essentially a content reference guide. Now, this is where you essentially collect and gather the ideal types of social media posts you like from other people that is proven to work, that is high performing right now. The reason you want to feed AI with your content reference guide is because garbage in, garbage out, right? Instead of just asking AI to create whatever and giving it free reins, it's probably not going to give you exactly what you want in the style you want that feels authentic to you. So what we're trying to balance here is authenticity and also the result. So in order to get both, you need to feed AI your content reference guide, because if AI is following a proven structure that's already working your niche for other creators, it's already proven to work. And then secondly, you're going to be able to fine-tune your AI tool to give your content output a little bit of your own style, your own voice. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the proven formulas that's almost guaranteed to work and your own style. So it feels authentic to you. But let me show you how you can create your own reference guide. It's actually very simple. Just follow the 4 steps here. So first is you want to start by finding the top 3 influencers in your niche on the right platform. There's 3 focuses, okay? You want to find the top 3 influencers. Now, if you can find 3, 1 or 2 is fine. Even 1 would be fine. And secondly, the influencers are ideally in your niche that's relevant to what you're offering. So if you are offering productivity coaching, you don't want to be finding an influencer that's in something that's completely different. For example, in weight loss, right? So ideally, you want to find another person who's also in productivity or something that's similar. So the third thing here is on the right platform. Now, if you're mostly wanting to create social media content to post on LinkedIn, then you should go on LinkedIn to find your top 2 or 3 influencers there and their content on LinkedIn. Now, if you mostly just want to post on Instagram, then you should go to Instagram and find their Instagram content. If you're looking to post across the board, let's say both LinkedIn and Instagram, then maybe you can have one influencer from LinkedIn and another from Instagram and split them. Let's say I find one influencer on LinkedIn. You want to go to their profile, locate their recent content, typically by going to their activities section on their profile. And then you want to scroll down and read their most recent content, like going back to the last 3 months. And you want to pay attention to each post and their engagement metrics. So you want to look at specifically number of views they got, the number of comments, and find a filter for the highest ones. Now, once you have identified and filtered down the highest performing content, you want to copy each post and compile them into one Google Word document. Post 1, you copy it from the platform, you paste it here, and then post 2, you paste the actual content from post 2, post 3. So you would combine them into one Google Word document. Okay, so that's done for your prep work. So we're going to fill out the information under each tab here one by one. So let's start with prompt. Let's just make sure all the settings are configured correctly first. Okay, so scroll down to capabilities, allow users to upload files. I would toggle this on. This one you can leave it off. Introductions. So this is the introduction I like to use. Would you like me to help you come up with 5 to 10 content ideas that we can write about? I'm happy to share. If yes, please upload information about your offer, business, or audience, or anything else that is relevant. So you can see, right, this is coming up here. So essentially, every time when you open up the AI tool is going to send you a question first. So if you want to, you can say, yes, please go ahead and generate 5 content ideas around, and then you can insert the topic you have in mind, right? So let's say if I were a career coach and I want to write a post to publish on LinkedIn about 3 tips to find your next job faster. And then if I want to, I can also click here to attach and upload any PDFs, documents, assets that I have about this topic. So you can provide more context to AI to help it give you higher quality output. Okay, so that's going to be for introductions. If you scroll down, prompt injection, we need to set this to. So I like to say the knowledge base attached is for you to imitate the writing style. Do not use the stories as the actual content output you create for the user. Just imitate the writing style. So this is pretty obvious. Essentially, what you're doing here is you're telling the AI that, hey, the content reference guide that I uploaded under the learn section, right, is for you to just learn from, not take their stories and actual content to copy. Okay, so let's go back to role here. This is where you set the specific instructions as your prompt. Now, before you do that, you want to choose which model you want to use. You can either do ChatGPT or Claude, but typically what I would recommend is Claude, which is usually better in creative marketing and copywriting than ChatGPT. So I like to choose 3.5 Sonnet. I believe it has the latest version now in 4.1, so I'm sure it will update it soon. Now, in terms of the prompt, what you want to make sure you include is 4 elements. The first one here is the persona. Second one here is the context of the prompt, and you want to share goals, and then you also want to share that specific instruction. Okay, so just to save us a little bit more time, I'm gonna paste in the prompt I've already written here before, so we're gonna go through that one by one. Okay, so let's look at the first element, persona. So here is you're just setting the tone. You're telling the AI like its main function, right? So for example, you're an expert in examining and imitating writing styles of professional copywriters. In the knowledge base provided, you have one set of training data with examples from founders and CEOs that have gone viral on LinkedIn or Instagram. So again, for example, if you're mostly just looking to post on LinkedIn, you would remove Instagram and just keep LinkedIn here. And here, this is also a placeholder. If the reference guide is from another content creator that's not a founder, so for example, in your niche, it could be another real estate agent, right? Or whatever it is, you should update and edit that. Second part here is context. So here you are providing the AI tool, aka Claude here, with more context and background information about what you're trying to accomplish here. We're helping the user to create a piece of content to post on LinkedIn or Instagram specifically. And here's the goal. You want to be as specific as possible with your goal. First is to get clients for our content, post it, whenever we post, we want the reader to take the call to action we want them to take, whether it's booking a call with a user or commenting below the post as defined in the post. Secondly, to build authority with our audience quickly by adding a ton of value. Now, instructions, this is the most important part. Suggest 10 content ideas, and there should be only content titles. I do not need you to provide any explanation or summary under each content idea. Now, if your preference is different, you actually want them to rank each idea with explanations or a summary of each title, then you should change this. Once the user chooses a topic he or she wants to write about, create a piece of content for the user following the instructions below. You should analyze the writing style from the training guide in the knowledge base we uploaded and imitate it to create viral content posts for the user, specifically to be posted on LinkedIn or Instagram. On a topic the user chooses. Your goal is to help the user generate posts that have the potential to go viral by personalizing their stories in a compelling way. Now, where are you going to get their stories, right, to use as actual content that goes into the post? So you would define it here. In terms of the specific content of the post you create for the user, the raw content of ideas you will work on will come from the information uploaded by the user. So here is where you actually attach some background information, maybe a little bit, one blurb talking about your expertise, right? Your past success stories, your certification, your unique method in this area. So this is where the AI is going to get specific ideas to formulate into your post. Now, the last part here I like to include is language of the post. It should be conversational, natural. So you're defining the preferred style here, so it feels authentic to you. All right, so that's the first tab, prompt. So now we're looking at the second tab, which is configure. So first, in terms of design, you want to choose the profile picture. So this is going to be the image or icon for this project under Pixie. This is not super important. You can either upload something you prefer, or you can ask Pixie to auto-generate for you. So we'll just choose auto-generate. High converting content generator. So you just want to describe that a little bit and then click generate. All right, so here's the image it generated. I think it looks fine. So let me hit save. Placeholder text. What would you like to talk about? So you can see this is basically the text that's going to appear here. Okay, so I like something like this. Again, another reminder to remind myself to upload any documents or files or text about my offer, audience, business, personal story, or any marketing assets, or really any information additional about the topic I want the AI tool to help me write about. Okay, so token length, max output length, I would usually just leave it to be 2000 unless you want it to be longer. Again, on Instagram, you probably are fine with just 2000. On LinkedIn, you would have a little bit more room to increase it if you want it to be a bit longer. Max ink, 3000 is fine. Memory buffer. And for me, this is basically how long of a conversation your AI tool would be able to remember. And you can set this depending on your preference. And you can toggle this to see, look, this is already a short book. So I like my AI to remember as long as possible because I'm going to have a more back and forth iterative process once I see the output to change it and to edit it a little bit until it's finalized. So I actually like it to set really high to be 90,000. So it pretty much would remember everything. Privacy, you can set this to be private. Training dialogue, you can leave this be. Under creativity, so first is randomness, how creative you want the AI to be. So you want it to be either usually 0.7 or its recommended level 0.8. Okay, so I have just left it to be 0.8. Try to use these words if you have any preferred words you wanted to repeat more. So what you want to avoid here, I think you should definitely use this section, is anything that sounds too formal, because you want your style of the content to be more conversational. So you don't want it to have consultant speak, essentially. So for example, let's avoid embraced, I want to avoid those. Sounds really like a little bit too formal. Okay, so that's the second tab. The third tab here is where you would upload your content reference guide, what we just created together previously. So I'm going to go over there and convert my guide into a PDF and then upload here. So let's just assume that you have uploaded everything here, and let's look at knowledge settings. So the first one, relevance cutoff. How relevant does a knowledge-based chunk need to be to get included in a query? So the default is 60, and I'll leave it be here, amount. How much information should be pulled per query? So this one is a little bit too much on the lower end, and I would actually toggle it all the way to the maximum end. So essentially what this question is asking you is, when the AI tool is trying to help you to create a new post, how much of the reference guide you uploaded that we should go through to try to create something similar. So obviously you want it to go through as much of the reference guide as possible. That's the whole purpose and why we upload it. So that's why I toggle it to the maximum. Content. Is there context the AI should know about the information being pulled? If not, leave in the default phrase. So again, I like to emphasize this, which is the knowledge base attached is for you to only imitate the writing style. Do not pull stories from the knowledge base to use as your actual content. So the last tab here, Act. So under this tab, you can connect with any other workflow or actions you want. But for me, I mostly just want this AI tool to help me auto write social media posts. I don't really necessarily need anything else afterwards. So I'm going to skip this one right now. Okay, so as you can see on the right side, you can see the chat preview here. If you want, you can test it and see if you want to change anything in your prompt, in your configure section. And once you feel it's pretty good, then you can hit publish here to get it published. So once you publish it, I would hit deploy. Okay, share the link. I'm just going to copy it and drop it in a different tab. And we're going to do a test run here. All right, so would you like me to help you come up with 5 to 10 content ideas? Yes, please help me generate 10 ideas around this topic. And I do want to post something around how tech professionals, assuming if that's going to be my ideal audience, how tech professionals can find their next higher paying jobs faster. Okay, so let's see what the output is. All right, so the answer here is it did return 10. Let's look at this in total. Yeah, 10 different content ideas, and they're categorized under 5 different types of content, right? As you can see, there's how-to posts, there's personal growth stories, there's mindset and motivation, there's common mistakes, and then growth lessons. Okay, I actually like this 5 different categories, and I'm gonna just review all the different titles quickly and pick one that I like. Okay, let's say I like this one, okay? How I landed 6 job offers in 30 days without applying to a single job board. Okay, so go ahead and write me a post for this on LinkedIn. So here is the post. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly read this and see what areas I actually want it changed, or if there's any other ideas I want to add into this post. So this actually looks pretty good, but what I would do here is once you see the first output, if you like it, obviously you can just copy it and then, post it. But if you don't, I would just have a more of iterative process chatting with AI to get it to produce something that's more satisfying. So I would say, hey, I like this, but I want it to be more in depth and longer around the method I used to land 6 jobs. So then I'm going to review the answer and I'm going to see which one is going to be better. And then I'm going to take the final version that I have finalized ready for post. And lastly, I want to just briefly mention the mistake that I'm seeing a lot of small business owners are making when it comes to posting social media content. So what they're doing here is they're defaulting to a lot of the already made tools like custom GPTs. I think there's one GPT there that helps you to generate LinkedIn posts. So that one is definitely better than not posting at all, but I don't think that's the best approach because it doesn't really leverage the information you have from your content reference guide, taking people who are already
influencers directly in your niche and essentially imitating their style. So in that way, you're going to be able to have a much higher chance of success when you are following a proven style. And those custom GPTs, usually it's for all the different niches all fused together. So it's not really specific to your audience. And secondly, you have very little flexibility to be able to tune the AI to add a little bit of your own voice and to be more authentic. So I would recommend to actually avoid those and just take 20 minutes and build your own here, which is going to give you much better output and results. All right, so there you have it, using Pixie to create a custom AI content generator. If you enjoyed today's content, please hit subscribe, as on this channel, we talk about how to use smart AI-powered strategies and workflows to grow your business faster and easier. I'll see you in the next video.